North Korea chemical weapons. What is sarin gas? Could Kim Jong-un use it? As tensions between North Korea and Donald Trump grow, so do concerns about Kim Jong-un's capabilities to launch a deadly sarin gas attack on his enemies. But what is sarin gas, and could the communist despot use it? Sir John Sawyer's North Korea is a bigger threat than Syria. Let's take a listen here.
Can you foresee a sequence of events that would lead to us not necessarily going to war with Russia, which is one hopes anyway, a melodramatic notion, but nonetheless hugely increasing the risks of some sort of conflict between East and West that did not exist hitherto?
I think that's unlikely. I think the Russians will have been embarrassed by the actions of President Assad last week, and the fact that the Americans and the Russians are engaging at a very senior level this week to try to find a way forward on Syria, I think is more important. And frankly, if you're looking for a world crisis which could bring about the dangers of a clash between great powers, then North Korea is a bigger concern than Syria. I think the move by the Americans to strengthen their forces in the Korean Peninsula, the deployment of this carrier battle group, the demonstration to President Xi in Florida that the United States was willing to use force against another state to uphold international order, uphold international norms. I think this is all part of a move it's part of a calculation by the Trump administration that North Korea has to be treated very seriously, a very high priority, and ultimately it needs a joint US-Chinese approach to deal with this, unless if we're to avoid a further conflict on that peninsula.
Mentos Now Mids.
Sorry about that, folks. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe warned today that North Korea could launch missiles with deadly chemical weapons. Mr. Abe told a parliamentary session in Tokyo there is a possibility that North Korea already has a capability to deliver missiles with sarin as warheads, referring to Bashar al-Assad's recent alleged sarin gas attack on Syria, which killed at least 85 citizens, including children. Mr. Abe said Japan had to bolster its defenses. Tension is escalating between North Korea and the West after Kim Jong-un made threats towards the U.S. and Japan. Donald Trump has warned that an armada is heading towards the Korean Peninsula after he sent a Navy carrier group into the region. Kim is reportedly ready to launch a nuclear weapon test as a show of strength after it promised to retaliate, quote, by powerful force of arms to U.S. actions. Satellite images show that North Korea's nuclear site is, quote, primed and ready for a test which could come as soon as Saturday, according to the Voice of America. This Saturday, North Korea will mark the 105th anniversary of the birth of state founder Kim Jong-sung. The date has in previous years been used for weapons tests. Look at these pictures. Could Kim Jong-un use sarin gas? Kim Jong-un allegedly sits on a stockpile of 2,000 to 2,500 chemical weapons, according to a white paper report drafted by South Korea in 2016. These weapons are said to have been in development since 1980 and contain deadly diseases such as anthrax, smallpox, and the plague. Another report from Stratfor Enterprises concluded that Kim's regime is capable of striking positions outside of Korea. North Korea conflict live, latest updates as tensions grow in the region. That's the Japanese minister, Shinzo Abe, called for Japan to bolster its defenses. Ballistic missiles could strike U.S. military positions beyond the Korean peninsula, specifically in Japan, the report said. Whatever the targets, Pyongyang's existing ballistic missile stockpile could easily deliver approximately 1 kiloton, 1,000 metric tons of high explosives, as well as other non-conventional munitions, chemical, biological, or even nuclear. After a long-range missile test in August 2016, Kim claimed that the U.S. and its, quote, operational theater in the Pacific are now within his striking range. Forbidden photographs depict the true North Korean army. While tourists are unable to visit North Korea as part of a controlled tour group, they are asked by their handlers to never take photographs of soldiers. These pictures taken by the photographer Eric Laforgue shows the reality of military service in the secretive state. What is sarin gas? Sarin gas is an odorless and colorless deadly chemical weapon which was developed by accident, just before the outbreak of World War II. The toxic chemical works as a lethal nerve agent even at low concentrations and is considered a weapon of mass destruction. It is roughly 26 times more potent than cyanide. Sarin gas kills by attacking the nervous system and breaking down neurotransmitters. This leaves the body in a state of helplessness as it loses control over its muscles. Kim Jong-un is prepared to launch a nuclear attack if the U.S. intervenes. Death will then usually occur as the lack of muscle control leads to asphyxiation, as the affected person loses the ability to breathe. This usually happens 1 to 10 minutes after inhalation. The toxic can be breathed in or absorbed through the skin and sticks to clothing for periods up to 30 minutes. The best way to treat a sarin attack is to swiftly administer atropine and pralidoxamine antidotes before the gas causes irreparable damage. This is scary stuff, folks. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But this is, this should be banned. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all your comments. Thank you again.